the Creator Clash tournament put on by Kawatech, Super Tech God, and Loot Muncher, along with the sponsor Untapped GG, just happened this past weekend, and I had come in second place. I was the runner-up. I lost to Ordinary Harry in the finals, but this deck right here that I brought, which is like an RNG kind of luck-based deck with very good cards in it as well, this brought me to the top. I only lost against Harry with this deck. This deck really performed very well, and I'm gonna break down the deck for you right now, explain why I thought that something like this would be very good in the tournament, and explain some of my card choices. The tournament was played in battle mode with an open deck list format. So basically, everybody gets to see everybody's deck before you get into your match. So you're gonna know what your opponent has in their deck. They're gonna know what I have in my deck. So you can theoretically play around everything, unless random stuff happens from locations or stuff like that. But unless you have random card generation, you're gonna know everything that's in your opponent's deck and the possibilities that your opponent will have. So if my opponent has Shang-Chi in their deck, I'm going to play around Shang-Chi as much as possible. Same with Enchantress, same with any kind of tech card, or like Magneto, or like even if my opponent has a Hulk in their deck, I know the power thresholds that I'm playing around, so I can make my decisions based on that. And that's why I think that a deck like this that has random elements to it is so strong, because you get these cards from Agent Coulson, Maria Hill, especially Cable as well, and your opponent has no idea what these random cards are. So that puts you in a very, very commanding position in certain circumstances, and you can sometimes even bluff snap with that. You can snap and your opponent thinks that they have no way to lose, but then you pull out the ultimate trump card and you steal just 8 cubes from them really fast and easy. Yeah. So cards like Agent Coulson, Maria Hill, Agent 13, they can give you a bunch of awesome things that are of course going to be reduced with Quinjet. So that is very strong in its own, and the fact that your opponent doesn't know. But then also Cable, I think, is one of the strongest cards in battle mode, because you're stealing a card from your opponent's deck and your opponent has no idea what you took from their deck, and it just gives you more information. It gives you one of their cards, which could be a very good card for you. Yeah, Cable is really, really good, and I don't think a lot of people brought Cable in the tournament besides me. So yeah, he performed very well. And just like an example of Cable performing really well that stands out to me was I had played against Eggs for Sale in the tournament, and I had stolen Rock Slide, and maybe I stole 2 cards from her. I had Rock Slide and I had Korg from her deck. So I knew that her Darkhawk could not get powered up anymore, and it just like made it so easy for me to play around the potential of what she could have. Just have more information, really. And same thing with like White Queen, just gives you a lot of information. Could give you a turn 6 play, a better turn 6 play, turn 5 play. Yeah, this deck did really well. Of course, I have Iceman, Scorpion in there, just good cards. Arrow, Devil Dinosaur, really, really strong cards. Of course, it's a tournament, so while I do like to play off-meta stuff as much as possible, I do have to include just the cards that are the best. So basically, we get like, I just play a bunch of cards throughout the game, and we distribute a lot of power onto these multiple locations, and then Arrow just cleans it up. That's pretty much how it goes. Arrow won me so many freaking games. It's crazy. The card's effect is bonkers. Probably needs a nerf. And yeah, this is the deck that I played most of my games with. I only played 1 game with my other deck, which is like an ongoing deck with Destroyer. But this deck right here, this was super solid. And it's just so much fun to play, really. So this is my second match. At this point, I am 1-0, and we were playing on stream for the first time. This is against Eggs for Sale. So of course, when you're playing on stream, it's going to be a little more nerve-wracking. You know, everyone's watching you. We had like 2.5k people at one point, and yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's definitely like you're already nervous. Adds onto it. Adds onto the pressure. But it was still just like so much fun to be on camera and to play against awesome content creators like Eggs for Sale. So we're going against Eggs, who she has Shang-Chi, so I have to be careful about that with my dinosaur. The good thing about my deck is that I only have one card, unless I generate other stuff that is Shang-Chi-able. So what I can do is I can play it on the last turn if I want to play around Shang-Chi, and usually that'll work. But yeah, I do have to be careful for the Shang-Chi though still. And then she is running the Darkhawk deck here. It's pretty standard Darkhawk deck with Zabu. She has Arrow in here as well. It's a pretty powerful deck, not gonna lie. But yeah, my Arrow can hopefully do a good job of making her stack a lot of power on one location, and Prage for no Zabu on two, you know? Yeah, I still feel like my deck is pretty good, but her deck is very solid as well. So, not really. I don't even know if I'm really favored here. She's got a good thing going, but I was feeling pretty confident still. And a big thing about battle mode is just the way that you snap as well. There's a big element to the way the art of snapping. So first game here, Sinister London comes up, which is really not good for me. Basically, when I see Sinister London come up, I feel like I already lost because my opponent has Darkhawks and I don't have anything for that. So I'm pretty much mentally already in the next game. I've already moved on. But if she doesn't want to snap, then I will stay in here and see if I could pull out some kind of miracle with my my random cards, pretty much. Yeah, so nothing really to see here. I think I'd go double collector, pretty standard play, nothing crazy. Just seeing if I could somehow make it, but I know there's no shot, pretty much. Darkhawk comes down, doesn't get duplicated. Wait, what happened there? She did not want double Darkhawk for some reason. Not sure I understand it. She wanted the extra cards instead. Doesn't really matter, though. Pretty standard stuff, blah, blah, blah. I don't even have, like, any cards in my hand. I do get the double Iceman off, but, I mean, like I said, there's, like, no way I'm winning this game. Alright, so we could honestly just, like, keep going through this game. There weren't really a lot of decisions that matter. I think I go for, like, double Cable here to try to pull off some kind of miracle steal. I need to get, like, Shang-Chi pretty much. That's what I'm going for. I really want to steal Shang-Chi from her deck. I know she has it in her deck, and that would give me a chance to win. But I take Zabu Darkhawk, or Zabu Rock Slide, so can't really compete with this. I mean, I can. My dinosaur does get, like, kind of big, but I know she has Shang-Chi, so it's just not going to be enough. So then I go Absorbing Man on my Cable to try to get Shang-Chi one more time, and I whiff again. And she top decks it, of course, but yeah. She's going into Arrow here to pull me into Fist Tower. I'm still waiting to leave here. Wait, why did I stay in? Why did I stay in this game? I'm not even sure why I stayed in. I guess I was really believing in the Shang. Yeah, that made no sense. I probably should have retreated there. That's weird. So that was already a mistake there. She does have priority here. I mean, it looks like I would have actually won this. Did I retreat here? Yeah, I retreated here. I think I would have actually won. What was I scared of? That's the question. Yeah, she does have Dino in her deck as well, so I guess I was scared that she was gonna have a Dino, and and it would just beat my double Dino. Yeah, it looks like I would have won there, actually, though. Interesting, interesting. Alright, game number 2. Getting the headphones in, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we missed a little something here. Just a standard 1-2 kind of play. It looks like All right, so pretty standard opener, nothing crazy here. She has Zabu on 2, so it's already going to be a tough one for me. Just trying to play out some cards before they get shuffled. I do get Electra off of Maria, which is pretty crazy. I kill a Quinjet, which is actually a big hit. But I mean, Zabu on its own is just too strong, probably. So, I mean, my hand is like okay, I guess. Not really doing too much. I mean, I could play cards, but I don't have Quinjet down. So I'm pretty far behind already. Is my hand not? My hand is not updating at the top. It's probably just a bug. It'll get fixed, I'm sure. She gets the Mystique on the Darkhawk. I think she just snapped me, and yeah, that's good enough for me. I'm out of here. It's not looking good. Like I said, Zabu into Rock Slide Darkhawk. I mean, yeah, no shot. And I don't even have Dino or Arrow in my hand. There's New York. Like, there's so many things that could happen here. All right, so I am down. At this point, I'm down 3. Down 3 cubes, which was the same position I was in against Valentine in the first round. Not feeling that great, but still plenty of game to go. We can still get a lot of cubes. We can still... it's still the early round, so it only starts at 1 cube. So, yeah, we're just chilling. We're chilling right now. I'm looking for my first win. Pretty solid curve at the moment here. All right, so I decide to hold off. I don't think my hand is right. I think my hand is bugging up there. Yeah, this was the same hand as last time. Yeah, so this is where he unplugs my thing. Yeah, that's definitely not my hand. I'm not passing on that turn. Yeah. So I play Collector. Cool. Yeah, there we go. All right, so right here I snap because of Quinjet, I guess. I mean, I have a really good curve, and she didn't play Zabu on 2, so this is where I want to make her pay to stay in the game. Superflow is good for her as well because she does get to play a 4-drop without having Zabu down, but I do feel pretty far ahead here. It is kind of awkward with the Superflow and Starlight Citadel because it's going to move and then it can mess up the Superflow, but before that happens, I mean, we still have a couple of turns here, so yeah, feeling pretty good. Agent Coulson plus Quinjet with the Collector seems pretty nice to me. I think I play 1 on each side. I'm not sure if I stack them. I do stack them just in case of the Superflow moving, but I don't have a lot of room, so I'll have to play on the other side anyway. All right. So, yeah, so Starlight Citadel is going to move these locations. So, of course, we can play into Superflow right now, and then we just both pray that Superflow goes to the right side, pretty much. Makes sense to me. Unless I go for the arrow here. I don't really remember. I could try to move her stuff into Strange Academy. That might be the play as well. Yeah, I could put down Cable Sentinel. It lines me up pretty well for next turn because then I go Sentinel Devil Dinosaur, or I could go. Yeah, this was actually a thought process. So I go Cable Sentinel here, and then I could always go. I could go like Arrow plus Sentinel next turn. Basically, I play something. I'll be able to play something into Strange Academy eventually. Or I'll be able to play something into Strange Academy and then move off with Arrow or something. Yeah. Because once they move from Strange Academy, like this is like the perfect time for Arrow. Because then both of us are not going to have any cards over there. And then I could just play something, move off, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying. All right, so we still have a couple more turns though. Yet it's only turn 4. It looks like it's turn 5. It was confusing me because of Superflow. So she gets a copy of Darkhawk, which is pretty strong. She does have Rock Slide as well. I still don't want to play my Dinosaur because I want to play around. Always want to play around Shang-Chi, of course. All right, I steal the worst card ever, Zabu. It's way too late for that anyway. And Superflow does go to the right, so we both do have that extra energy still. Nothing crazy here. I mean, there's a lot of different options in my hand, but like I said, still can't play Dinosaur. Strange Academy is going to move stuff off of there, and then I could arrow off of there. So I guess I basically want priority here. So I could actually... this is actually an interesting turn. Because my stuff is going to move. I don't want my middle to get filled up by bad cards. So I'm pretty sure what I do here is I fill up the middle with Dinosaur. I drop Dinosaur now because she's obviously not going to Shang-Chi me now. She has priority. And so I drop Dinosaur now in preparation for the arrow, because I know that if I play arrow that I cannot get Shang-Chi'd, of course, because I'm just going to do it on a different lane. So I believe I actually dropped the Dinosaur. I dropped the Dinosaur mid along with the Sentinel mid, so that all my other stuff moves over to Super Flow, and then I could just arrow on Super Flow and play a Sentinel on the left, something like that. Pretty sure that's what happens here. Yeah, so there's no way my Dino can die. And I want to make sure I have a lot of power mid. And this goes exactly as planned. There's 2 spots on the right. Looking pretty good. I know her deck. I have her Zabu. Like, she can't really play that many cards here. So, yeah, this is where she definitely makes a mistake. Because I can totally just arrow off of there. And I believe she says it later on that she... I believe she says it like she forgot about arrow. That I was just gonna pull it off that was just gonna pull the Shang-Chi off. So this was a big swing for me right here. Like, she should probably like always retreat here, but she gave up the extra 2 cubes. So yeah, like I said, I just arrow on the right, move over the stuff, and then we just take the left side. Pretty easy game at the end here. But it was the whole play that won this game was playing the Dinosaur mid. And setting up for this exact scenario, taking the priority to make sure that I cannot get Shang-Chi'd and lock down the game. And even if she did have like a bunch of power on the right, I would be able to arrow to the left and then play something on the right and still win there as well. So yeah, basically checkmated with the Dino play. And now I'm just looking over my notes. I'm looking to see what is the possible... what can possibly beat me here. I'm calculating the Darkhawk, how much it gets to if he plays Rock Slide and Korg and blah blah blah. And yeah, the math is not adding up. She should have no way to beat me. Lock it in a couple seconds. Just double check everything. Move the stuff over to the right. No Shang-Chi. She realizes that yeah, that could happen. And boom. Oh, did she snap me there? Okay, she snapped me there. Yeah. So she definitely did not think about the arrow there. Yeah, this is actually for 7 cubes at this point. And that's when I start looking at my notebook a million times to be like, what the hell am I missing? She was definitely got in my head at that point, because I was very confused. That is for sure. But I triple checked everything. I mean, if I lost this, I literally just lose. So I had to make sure a million times that I am all good to go. And then, yeah, right there on my face, I'm like, what is happening here? How do I lose this? And then I realized arrow is OP and there's no way I can lose. There is no way I can lose. Now we just drag it over. Boom. Take it home. 7 cubes. That is a ginormous swing. So now I am up 7-3. But the game is obviously not over yet. The match is not over yet. Anything's possible. Alright, so now it is 7-3. This is round number 4. So one more round until next round is the high stakes round. What do I have here? Both have Quinjet opener. Quinjet is better for me though. Not really crazy about Throne Room with Shang-Chi. If I was her, I'd probably snap the second I see Throne Room, but I don't know. Yeah, so I have an interesting hand here. I have all 2s. I have 3 2s. I can go Sentinel first so that I could go Collector Sentinel next turn. I also want a Scorpion as soon as possible usually, but I think I want to curve out. So yeah, we go Sentinel here so we could go Collector Sentinel next turn. I could always draw something else, but seems like a good way to use my energy. And I don't think I have a way to play into Death Domain with my deck. Oh yeah. So this is where Space Throne comes up, and that's kind of spicy. You can see me going like this, and yeah, I literally just win that lane. Her mouth is wide open, and she is very sad. Yeah, I mean, I still don't even know at this point, like, how I'm going to win this Throne Room. I mean, yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to win Throne Room, but I think I still snap anyway, just because I took that lane. I don't even know if the snap is the snap should be kind of correct, but yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to win Throne Room reliably. So I don't even know about this, but I think she retreats here. Yeah. We'll take it. I am up by like quite a few cubes, so I guess I may as well snap here. But actually, if she stays in, staying in is literally like the same thing as retreating. Like, I literally gave her a free way. I was trying to give her a free cube, actually. If you think about it, the interesting thing about battle mode is like round 5, the stakes are doubling. So I'm pretty sure Harry picked up on this as well, where there's like a certain point where you can just get like a free cube, or you can like get a free retreat or something like that, because like if your cubes are at like an odd number going into the, if your cubes are at an odd number and then you go into the doubled cube rounds, it does, like, there's a point where, like, if she, like, her being at 2 cubes right now, yeah, you did, I know you did. Her being at 2 cubes right now is the same as being at 1 cube. So she was just at 3. So yeah, basically, you definitely did, Harry. I gave you a free out, and it was with Throne Room too. I remember it exactly. So she's at 3 cubes right here. This is a very important thing to note. She's at 3 cubes, and I snapped her. So if she stays in, then she's wagering 2 cubes instead of 1 cube, which doesn't make a difference because she's going to be at either 1 or 2 next round, unless we go all the way. So, and it's always going to be for at least 2 cubes once we get to the next round. So I actually think she should never retreat here, especially since it's Throne Room. Yeah, you should never actually retreat at this point, because it's actually the same thing. Yeah. She's going to be at the same exact point next round anyway, so she may as well play it out to the last turn. Yeah. So I probably got bailed out here. I probably got a little lucky that she retreated. That was a dumb snap by me, looking back at it. I don't think I should ever snap there. Yeah. All right, so now we go into high stakes round. What the hell is that noise? All right, that was weird. Yeah, so I just need to win one more game, and I win. So of course I can play Agent 13 here, but I have Collector into Cable Agent 13, which is way better. I obviously can only play on the right side at this point, so that's what I'm gonna do. It'll be easier to understand with some visuals. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Icebox, blah, blah, blah. Just like center plays here. Just like I said, Agent 13, Cable. Get my thing going. Give us some more options to work with here. I know Scorpion is good, but just get the more options going. I like to have options. All right, so now this is an interesting point where it's there's Crimson Cosmos. I don't want to fill up the right lane, of course, so now I make the decision to play both my cards on the left on Jotunheim, even though you don't usually want to play on Jotunheim early, but I don't have White Queen, so I can't play in the middle, and I'm just working out the math in my head. I mean, it's turn 4, so if there's going to be 3 ticks of Jotunheim, so if I do play Scorpion and Sentinel, I'll be at -1 after those 3 ticks, which isn't really horrible. Like it's still just I need to play something, you know. Yeah, so just play my cards in there. And now, I mean, this game is looking pretty bad for me, honestly. It's looking pretty awkward. What's up, Loopy? It's looking pretty awkward here. I'm trying to think about next turn. I don't even really know what the hell to do here at this point. I believe I settle on Gamora on the right side, even though I don't even think she's gonna play on the right. I don't even like. I honestly thought that I lost at this point, like on this game. I don't know. I actually kept going back and forth between what is correct here, and I honestly can tell you I have no clue. But yeah, I played Gamora on the right, and if I needed more power, I guess I could go like White Queen Sentinel the following turn, and maybe I can get there. I don't know. But my play somehow worked out because she did play on the right side. So I did get that right side for free pretty much. Pretty sick. And then it comes down to the final turn, where it's basically, if I play Arrow, I obviously lose. So I need to play Devil Dinosaur and basically go for a 50-50. Because we're both going to play Devil Dinosaur, and whoever, like, it's literally just a 50-50 at this point. But, yeah, so then it comes down to where should I play Devil Dinosaur? She's winning the middle by 6, and she's winning the left by 3. So technically, it would be more obvious for me to play on the closer lane, I guess, like the left lane. So I think that's why I go for the middle one. You could use some mind game stuff, whatever. But yeah, I just go for the middle one, which is kind of obvious. But since it's kind of obvious, then maybe it's not obvious. You know what I'm saying? So I just go with the middle. And this is definitely where she blunders as well, by playing the Arrow on the left instead of the Dinosaur, which has a 0% chance to win, I think. She should definitely take a 50-50 with the Dinosaur. That is the way to win this. It's the only way to win this, pretty much. And yeah, she ended up dragging my Dinosaur to the left, which gives me just enough power to win and win the series here. Boom. So I don't even think I played that series that well, honestly. I think I totally could have lost that series. Had she made some different decisions, I think that was actually just hers to win. Yeah. I don't even think I played that well. Round number 3 is against Coco 4. And of course, I'm bringing the same deck. I think my deck, I did plan out before the tournament, which, like, you could look at everybody's decks and see what they're bringing. And I planned out, I basically figured out that I think my ongoing deck, the other deck that I brought, was like only good against like Specimen, pretty much, in the tourney. So I brought this deck again, and Coco brought a pretty standard deck, nothing crazy, just like good cards. Like, has some ongoing stuff in here. Has the Daredevil, Professor X, but yeah, just a lot of good cards. Shang-Chi, Arrow, Magneto's pretty strong. Devil Dinosaur, of course, Iceman. Good stuff. Cosmo is a really good card. Just like a tech kind of list, pretty much. Counters a lot of different decks, I think. So, yeah. Pretty solid deck, but I still feel like I have a pretty solid shot. Like, my deck is good, too. And like I said before, Shang-Chi only has one target with my Dino, theoretically. So, yeah. Just try to flood the board. Alright, and if you didn't know, Coco was not there. He was not able to make it, so he was playing at home. He was the only one that was not at the actual event, so... Little mind games going on, you know? I can't look him in the eyes. I can't see how he's feeling over there. But he can't see me either. He's not allowed to watch the stream, obviously, during our match, so yeah. Alright, so it looks like they're having technical difficulties getting my deck on there. On the screen. Should be up there in a sec, though. Like I said before, Aquas, I was trying to look people in the eyes and give some smirks and whatever, but nobody was looking up. Everybody was head down, just totally focused on their thing. They didn't want to give me any information. All right, now we have the thing on the screen. Now it's flipped a little bit. All right. Did I snap this? I maybe snapped this. Which one is me? I'm on the bottom. I have the Chibi Agent Coulson. Yeah, so hold up. So I snapped here because we get Elysium, and I can play so many freaking cards here. Look at this. I can play Agent Coulson, Quinjet, Cable. Like, this is a banger turn for me. I don't know if he stays here. But yeah, I'm about to go crazy on this. He does stay. He does get on the Cosmo. I did make sure to split up my stuff just in case something like this did happen. But yeah, he does delay the he does get rid of my Cable. But we get the Agent Coulson value. We get a Sentry into the Cosmo, which that's why I have a little smirk on my face right there. I'm like, yo, Sentry Pog. I don't even own this card. Sick. That's the really fun thing about Agent Coulson and these random generation cards. But that also makes things difficult. That also definitely increases the difficulty of the deck because you do have to be able to play with more cards in general. So if you're not comfortable with a card, if you haven't really played with a card, then it's a little risky to bring this kind of deck because you can just misplay with these random cards that you get. And your opponent, like if you steal a card, if I steal a card with Cable, like maybe my opponent can play the card. They know how to play the card better than me. So I might mess up with it. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So I'm feeling really good here. I mean, Sentry into Cosmo looking nice to me. I think I just want to play. Yeah, I just want to play some stuff. Still want to generate some more stuff. Just want to curve out really well. So while I do float one energy, that is totally alright with me. And yeah, I did get rewarded here for playing on the left a little bit. But I do know that my opponent has... I do know my opponent is running Mr. Fantastic in their deck. So I don't necessarily know if I win that left lane yet. This is turn 5. Neither of us can play anything, right? Or no, this is turn... Yeah. Neither of us can play anything that turn because the Avengers compound was locked down. So at this point, I need to be careful of Mr. Fantastic. So what do I do here? That's a good question. Cosmo is in the middle lane. I can't arrow there. I can put down a dinosaur somewhere if I'd like to. Does he snap me here? What happens here? Going for the arrow, right? I think I'm doing math for Magneto. So Magneto would get him to 15. This would be plus 9. I would be at 15 as well, but then I would win tiebreaker. So I think that was my whole plan. And also if I drag to the right... No. My whole plan is that if I drag to the right... Yeah, this was actually really good because you just drag Mr. Fantastic if he plays it, and there's no way I could lose, right? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I do, and maybe he just retreats here. Yeah, he retreats. No way I could lose. And he knows that I have arrow, of course, so yeah. Easy dubs. If he did have Mr. Fantastic, maybe he's playing it out. I kind of doubt it still, but yeah. All right. So that was a 2-cuber right there. All right, pretty good opener with the Quinjet. Looking nice. My opponent has a pretty bad hand. We get the double effects here. Double effects. I don't have a card to... I mean, I have Agent 13 to generate something. Which should be good enough. I would not be surprised if I snap this. I think I'm checking his deck right now to see how he can capitalize on the Onslaught Citadel. And of course he does have Mr. Fantastic that can do well there. I'm actually a little surprised I didn't play Agent here. I do usually like to get down Scorpion as much as possible. I get punished a little bit here. I mean, Kamar Taj is still really good with Agent 13. Especially with, yeah, this is where I snap because I'm about to get the double thing. My opponent has no playable cards, so he's just gonna leave here. Yeah, I think I should have snapped the turn before that. Honestly, like, even though he can have the Mr. Fantastic, I don't know. I feel like that Quinjet is just too strong over there, so maybe I'm supposed to snap on that turn 1. Or turn 2. And then I'm not even really completely sold on the Scorpion play. Instead of Agent 13, but yeah. So definitely there's a lot of different decisions that can be made. I'm not even like so thrilled with my plays thus far. I do get some good plays in eventually, I swear. But yeah. A lot of different ways that these matches can be played out. And especially with like the snapping as well. Yeah, I should have snapped on that Quinjet. For sure. So it just goes to show you that you can be successful and you can misplay and still be successful. Yeah. But overall, it was like good enough, I guess. The snap was good enough. Missed out on a cube. Looking back at it, but yeah. Alright, I got the Quinjet again. I do have Agent Coulson looking pretty good. Don't have a turn 2 play, though. So we're kind of chilling right now. Don't have to snap just yet. Attilan kind of sucks for my Agent Coulson. So definitely not going to snap now. This was an interesting game. So the whole thing here is, do I play Agent Coulson or do I play Attuma? I can literally only play Attuma on the middle. If I play Agent Coulson, then I'm putting like poop in my deck. Maybe, if it's bad. But it's going to get reduced by Quinjet. I kind of just want my actual cards back. Like, I want to get Arrow back pretty much. So that's why I go for the Attuma play here. I just don't want to clog my deck up with stuff that's potentially bad. Pretty much. Not really a crazy play here. But yeah, I know my opponent has Shang-Chi, so I'm not really crazy about Attuma. I also know my opponent has Arrow, so there's totally ways I can get punished for this later on, but I still go with it. It was actually a pretty hard decision to make because of those 2 cards in my opponent's deck, but if you want to play a Shang on it, I guess I'm okay with it. And maybe I can play around Arrow a little bit later. I don't know. Maybe I could put enough power on the other lanes, before that happens. Yeah. So we go with the Attuma. So I obviously can't play on that middle lane anymore. Unless he wants to drop armor there, you know. We get the Coulson back. Pretty cool. This is where I really have to think about my future turns, how the energy lines up. So getting that Sentinel down right now. I also am trying to think about board space. I don't have that much space here, but we still go for this anyway. Just keep dropping a lot of stats. And just try to like fill up my curve for later. Sunspot's really good because he only takes up that 1 spot. And he just keeps growing. Like I don't like that. That is actually like an insane card for me to get off Maria. Um, at this point, you obviously have to look out for Professor X. So I can play Sunspot on the right reliably, and then if I ever need to float, I can. But I do need to look out for that left side as well. I can't let him play. I can't let him just lock down that left side here. So I think I do play something on the left as well. Might be Collector. I don't remember. I go ahead and I drop the Sentinel over there. Yeah, that's probably better. Just because I have like no space on the board. So just playing around Professor X, just doing my due diligence, you know. All right, he drops 2 cards on the left there. And now this is an interesting turn, isn't it? So basically, I'm very scared of Arrow. Because if he plays Arrow mid, he's going to drag whatever I play, and then my Atuma dies, and I probably just lose. So, I literally play nothing here, and I just float all my energy. I do the math, and this play doesn't lose to anything. And like I said before, that's the power of this deck, of my deck, is that I know, like with the usual deck, like you're always going to know what you can play around, what you have to play around. So I do all the math. If you play Shang-Chi plus something else, I still win. If you play whatever, like if you play just Arrow or something, I still win. So I take my time. I really think it all through, and I just completely pass here, float all the energy for my Sunspot, make sure that my Atuma will stay alive. If he wants to Shang-Chi it, I still win, like I said. So yeah, I just do nothing. I literally do nothing. And I believe he does play Shang-Chi. And I'm not exactly sure why he thinks this is going to win. But, yeah, it does not. It does not win. Yeah, the Agent Coulson variant is amazing. I agree. All right, so Coco is down to 5 life right now. I'm at 10. He's at 5. We get Lamentus 1 on the first location here. I have a pretty banging hand. I mean, obviously Cable is unplayable because he has no cards in his hand, but Scorpion is really strong. I have some random generation. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm thinking about snapping, but my opponent can also have a pretty solid hand. It's not necessarily over yet, so we still have 2 locations to go. It's kind of risky to snap in these best of ones, especially with unrevealed locations. You never know what could happen here. But yeah, and it's already double stakes, so yeah. I think I'm just happy with the 2 cube thing right now. Like I'm just still chilling. Now that I see the other location, and now that I see my opponent has passed, I think I snap here. I still don't snap. Yeah, I mean, it's 2 cubes. I'm at 10. I guess I'm just chilling. I probably could have snapped. I mean, looking at it back, yeah. All right, so interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff. I have Dracula plus Nick Fury for my Coulson. And if anybody knows how this game works, that's freaking good. Yeah. Dracula into Nick Fury, you get all the 6 drops, and usually that's pretty strong. So I believe I do put down the Dracula on the right, and it basically just locks up the location. Yeah. I think that's the play. Yep, so we lock it down. All good to go. And now we have a decision to make. My opponent gets to see my play. I don't have to play Nick Fury yet. Like, my opponent can see my play, and there is a possibility Professor X, so I believe I go arrow middle. And that's because arrow, if you have priority against the Daredevil, arrow basically cancels out Daredevil. Like, that is one of the best counters to that card. I mean, it counters like everything, but still. So basically, I'm going to move whatever into the middle, and if it moves to the right, that's cool. My Dracula should win that lane anyway. And yeah, that's the reasoning there. Just playing around Professor X, I guess. It's just it's going to lock down the right side. It should lock down the right side for sure. Seems good to me. There's not really too much of a point to playing Nick Fury. I mean, I'll get the 6 drops for more options, but I think I just have to play around the Professor at this point. I don't know what he does here. He just plays armor. His hand is awful, bro. He's got to retreat, right? Probably. Get the power on the left, looking good. All right, so right here, I play Nick Fury mid. And I think people are asking me about this with Magneto. I definitely am thinking about Magneto, because I can see my opponent's list, and this Magneto would drag the Coulson and the Dracula off the right, which would mean that he wins the right side. But I should win the tiebreaker, unless I unless I get like null off of my Nick Fury, and I discard that with my Dracula. We should be totally good to go. Yeah, that would, I think, be the only outcome that makes me lose, which is very... No, I actually still beat that because his Magneto got Scorpioned. Yeah, this beats everything. So, of course, I know that Magneto is the best play he can have here. So, I'm definitely thinking about that, and I don't think this loses to anything. So, yeah, pretty easy play. He definitely should leave. Pretty sure he leaves. It looks like he left. All right. All right, he's got 3 HP. I have 10. Obviously feeling very good. He is at an odd number, so he gets... It's effectively 4 HP-ish. But if we snap, then it's only 3. Elysium again. I feel like Elysium came up a lot in this tournament. It came up multiple times against Harry, which was actually detrimental for me. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I saw Elysium a lot. I don't know if it's like increased odds or some shit, but kind of crazy. I hope anybody is liking this content. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you are, but I hope you guys like the breakdown of the thought process during these matches. If you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. But yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's go. All right, pretty banger start for me. Elysium's really good for my deck because I just generate a bunch of stuff. I'll be able to play a bunch of cards. Doesn't really help him out too much. He does have some generation with Sentinel, White Queen, but definitely helps me out more. All right, pretty standard opener here. Nothing crazy. Thinking about Coulson and Scorpion. I do like to get Scorpion down as fast as possible, but I always like to see more options in my hand. Thank you, Jay Miggity. Thank you. All right, this is where your boy blunders. This is where I make one of my stupidest plays, probably. Yeah, I basically wanted to draw. I wanted to play something that was not going to generate cards for me. So I didn't want to play White Queen because I wanted to have a chance to draw my Dino, pretty much. So basically what I do here, what I decide to do is play Rescue. This is where I was like very unsure what to do, and definitely wrote this out quite a bit. But yeah, I play Rescue on the right, And then basically my thought process is I'm just gonna like get the rest. Like, I'm gonna play like a Scorpion on the rescue next turn, and play something on the left or whatever. And then if he tries to Shang-Chi me, I'll just like double arrow pretty much. So that's my thought process. Just buff the rescue up, double arrow. You can't Shang-Chi me, and I win. But I kind of forgot how rescue worked. Because rescue just gets buffed the second you play cards on it. So I forgot that my opponent could just Shang-Chi it right away. Like before I even get to like he gets to Shang-Chi it right away, pretty much. And yes, I could have juked him out here. Like I could have played not on that location, I guess, and would have been kind of stupid. But yeah, this is where I totally messed up. I should not have done this. I know he has Shang-Chi. I've been playing around the whole time. Except for now because I just don't play. This is where one of those situations comes up where I just haven't played with a card like Rescue too much. So I kind of just forgot the implications. And yeah, that's where this deck gets a little difficult because you get put into these situations that you're not normally in. And you get to you have to play cards sometimes that you don't usually play. So yeah, right here I definitely made that mistake, and I just get totally punished with this Shang-Chi. Actually, just an awful play by me. And at that point, yeah, you can see the fist on my head, and I'm like this because I'm just like 2.5k people watch that play. Jesus Christ. Oops. Yeah. That could happen. I was like, yeah, that's actually true. I forgot that's how that worked. So yeah, totally messed that up. And basically just kind of writing this game off already. But I will obviously try my best to keep going because I'm locked in. It's 3 cubes max. I have to play it up. So at this point, I think I go for Magneto mid. Just try to fill up that middle lane. He gets to see my play anyway. I'm just trying to drop a lot of power. It's got to be my best play here, I think. Like, our hand is so cheap anyway. We could play, like, a bunch of stuff next turn. So, yeah. I just play Magneto. And Coco definitely plays this game very well. Don't remember what he does here. But he fills up my left lane, so now I am stuck over there. He's got me down. Got me down bad. And now I do basically the only play that could possibly win me the game. Trying to find some way out of here. I forget exactly what I'm calculating here. I'm calculating like a dino somewhere, I think. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's no way. So I don't even remember what I play, but I'm pretty sure I make it so I can win a little bit. I don't even think I beat Dino with this play. But yeah, I'm just trying to split up the power as much as possible. And of course I get wrecked. He also knows that I have White Tiger in my hand. So yeah, good play by Coco. Definitely messed up with the rescue. But yeah, it was only for 3 cubes, fortunately. I was fortunately very far ahead, so I can afford to be an idiot, you know? I just wanted to be on screen longer, guys. I want to be on the stream longer so you guys could see me play. That was the whole plan. I misplayed on purpose, obviously. All right, so this game was an L. It was all because of the rescue play. Right off the bat, monsters come out. My opponent has Shang-Chi in their deck. I don't, so I'm already at a disadvantage. He does draw it right here as well. A little surprised he didn't snap me right away on Monster Island, just to lock me in, but 2 locations to be unrevealed, you know? Anything could happen. All right, I got a pretty good start. Collector into Coulson. I like that. My opponent hasn't played a card yet. Feeling all right. I do have Arrow for Space Throne as well. Yeah, Space Throne came up quite a bit too. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I snap. I have a good curve. I have Arrow. That's all you need. Let's go. My opponent does have a very slow start here. And he actually leaves. Even though he has Shang-Chi. Which is kind of weird. I mean, I get it, I guess. But, like, yeah. He does have a slow start, but the fact that he has Shang-Chi is actually not... I don't know if it's completely over yet. But yeah, that's where aggressive snapping... You got to make your opponent really... really, like, I need to... My opponent has to make a decision. I need to force him to make a decision here. I see that he has a slow start. So if you want to stay in and see how the game is gonna play out anymore, like I can also I'm also letting him know that I feel like I have a pretty good hand here. So yeah, just that's a pretty big retreat because he's at 2 cubes. He's at 3 cubes right there. And he just gave up half his life retreating. That's actually a big retreat. So now there's basically... It's pretty hard for me to lose. I'm in a very good spot. I have to lose 4 in a row, which is possible. But yeah, that's where I look at the camera and I go, one more. One more. We love a good 1-drop. Oh, this game was epic. This game was freaking epic. Space Throne again. And I'm like, yo, this sucks. And then I look at my... And then I look at the thing and I'm like, whoa. Whoa, hold up. Wait a second. My Agent 13 gave me a Falcon, so I can put that Agent 13 back in my hand and I can go into that Space Throne. Which is sick. It was sick, but also I don't want to do it just yet, though. I don't think I want to do it just yet. I don't want to let him know that I can pick it up right now, because maybe my opponent will play into it with like 3 power or something, and then I can lift it up, and then I play something bigger. So I actually don't play the Falcon just yet, because I do want to bait my opponent into thinking that I cannot actually pick that up. So, I just go with the cable play. Just, I do have quite a few options there. I could have went Maria, but I was just thinking about how my curve is going to play out, and I think I like this the best. And I do steal his arrow, which is crazy, and you'll find out in a second why. And the reason why that's freaking insane is because now I can Falcon plus Quinjet, and then I can play arrow into the middle. It actually lines up so perfectly. This is the perfect freaking, like, the game lined it all up for me in a beautiful manner. Yeah, but I have to lift it up right now so I can do that. So that's why I do go into the Falcon, and then I drop the Quinjet after the Falcon. Of course, I don't want to pick that up. And this lines it up so perfectly. And if he does play into it right now, if he does play into Space Throne, that's fine too. But yeah, I actually stole like the most insane card after getting the most insane card from my Agent 13. And then I top decked the most insane card. Like, the game just wanted me to win at this point. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm just the best. I mean, come on. Yeah, so we pick up the Agent. We clear it off. Quinjet comes down. Arrow is 4 energy now. Lines up perfectly. I mean, I do the math. It looks like I should be winning this middle location. Does he have White Queen in his deck? I don't remember. But is he gonna play White Queen on the middle? I think he does have White Queen, but would he really play? Wait, does he have White Queen? I should probably pull up the deck list. He does. So if he does play White Queen, I actually do lose to that, but that's the only thing. This play is so good. I don't know. I have to do it, right? I have to do it. And he did play Sentinel before, so could expect another Sentinel here. I'm going in. I'm also ahead. I'm also ahead by a lot of cubes. Like, this is just the nuts. And yeah, he plays two drops, I believe. I pull the armor into the Space Throne. It's fucking epic. I cannot lose that Space Throne. Now, all I have to do is win one more lane, and it's over. So, I don't want to show him how much power I can get to on the right. So this is where he does a very good play, and he plays Professor X on the right side because he knows that I probably am not going to play over there right now. I don't want to like cap out my side. So, yeah, good heads up play by him on the right. But then the problem is he just can't win the left side. It's so hard for him to win both if he does that. But he kind of has to do that, I think. Yeah. So I just put down some cards here. I was trying to decide. I was spending this whole turn pretty much deciding if Collector Coulson is better than Sentinel Coulson. Because like I'll get my Collector up to 3 right now, but then I'm thinking about my energy for next turn, and I'm also thinking about like I might have to play a card on the island next turn, so that's why I do it like this. Just because I know I'm gonna get the 1 energy Sentinel, so yeah, I might need that extra energy. I might need the extra small guy, but it doesn't really matter. Like I'm based on this play, I probably should have done the Collector play, but I'm still happy with my play regardless. Yeah, so now all I have to do is win this left side, and I'm thinking about ways that I could lose. I could obviously Gamora plus Sentinel, and that is good. But then Shang-Chi kills my thing, but then I still win. Yeah, I probably could have just played Gamora. Looking back at it, I probably could have just played Gamora Sentinel, and there's no way that he can win with like a Shang-Chi plus a Sentinel. But instead, I do play around the thing, and I go into Hellcow Sentinel. I did the math, and there's no way I lose to a Dino or a Magneto with this, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just checking my math one more time, looking at his hand, lock it in. It's all good. Holding up the thumbs up. We got it. And that was it. Even if he did have an Agent 13 instead of the Iceman, it was still, which he doesn't even run. We still had it. Yeah. And that was the series. Another 7 cube win for me. I think I won the first 3 matches 7-0. But yeah, definitely didn't play that. Definitely had a couple mistakes throughout there. The standout mistake was the rescue play, and then there were a couple times where I could have snapped a little earlier. But yeah, this is the first tournament, so still getting used to the format. I really had only played like 10 battle mode matches before the tournament. I didn't really practice the mode too much. I practiced the decks a bit, but I didn't really practice the mode too much. So definitely still have to get used to the snapping, when to snap, when to retreat, all that jazz. But as the tournament was going along, I think I got more comfortable with that stuff. And I have played quite a bit of poker. I do love poker. So yeah, I think I'm pretty decent at that element of the game. But it's definitely different than ladder. You have a lot of things to think about. With every snap, every retreat, every cube really matters. This is the losers final. So I had lost to Ordinary Harry in the semifinals of the winners bracket. So I dropped down to the losers bracket, and I have to face Coco. So so once I lost to Harry, it was obviously very sad in the winners semifinals, but at that point I was guaranteed 3rd place at least. So I'm in the money. Like between Coco and I, whoever loses this match is guaranteed $200. And like 3rd place is $200, 2nd place is $300, and then 1st place is $500. So 2nd place and 3rd place are pretty close, and you should be happy with like the two. I would be happy with the 3rd place for sure, but I want my revenge on Harry, so I'm gonna win this game. All right. So this is the 2nd time that I'm playing Coco. We're using the same decks as last time, so I'm feeling really good. I mean, before this, it was Coco versus Eggs, and I had beat both of them previously to get to this point. So no matter who won, I was feeling good, and I was gonna use the same deck anyway, because it was working. It was freaking working. All right, we got the Baxter building. I have Collector and Coulson looking cool. I think I was greeting him. Feeling cool here. Still not gonna snap. I do know my opponent has Shang-Chi in their deck, so it could get a little dicey on the Baxter building. New York is always an interesting location for sure. So many freaking variables with that thing. So yeah, not the most confident in this game because of these locations, pretty much. But I still have a pretty good start here. And my opponent's not snapping me. We're chilling. All right, we play the Coulson. Get kind of poopy cards. Obviously don't want a Sandman. Now I have an interesting... we have a couple different plays we can make here. I believe, so... My thought process on this turn... There's a lot of different ways you could go about this, but... my thought process on this turn, like, immediately you would probably jump to White Queen just because it's the most power. And because you get information. But I do end up going with... I believe Cable plus Iceman. Because either I go with Cable Iceman or Sentinel Iceman, because I want to leave a spot in my hand open so I can draw Arrow. Because I think Arrow is going to be nice for like winning the Baxter building potentially at the end. So I do go with a different kind of play, which is still good. I mean, I'm not really losing out on so much power. And Iceman can hit something pretty good. I do get a card from his deck. Could steal the Shang-Chi. Could feel comfortable on Devil Dinosaur. Who knows? So that's what I go for. I just want to. I literally just want to leave the hand open, and I'm kind of assuming that whoever wins Baxter building wins Danger Room, kind of. But yeah, that's the plan. I believe that dies, right? Boom. I am obviously very skilled. Another interesting turn here. See, this is where I actually start playing well. The other matches, I don't think I really played too well, but this is where I start doing some good plays. Very difficult turn here because if I play Devil Dinosaur, obviously, like I can't play Dinosaur because obviously my opponent could have Shang-Chi. I do have his Dinosaur, which is cool, but yeah. So I spent a lot of time thinking about this, thinking about Professor X, how I get screwed over with Professor X. So I end up playing Black Bolt on the right, or I end up playing Black Bolt on the middle. I start off on the left, but then I end up playing him on the middle because of Professor X. Because if I play Black Bolt on the left and he plays Professor X mid, then I can't actually move anything, and it gets like really awkward. So that's why. And also, like, if he plays it on the left, then I can just buff up the Collector. So, I think this is the best way for me to play around that Professor X. And still play around the Shang-Chi, of course. So, yeah, that's my reasoning there. Black Bolt's kind of big. Kind of a big card. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. Fortunately for me, my opponent doesn't really have any great plays. White Queen did get Iceman, so he can't even play that with the Iceman, which is pretty cool. So I believe he just lands on the Arrow on the left, which isn't really that strong at all. So I'm feeling pretty good here, actually. That was like pretty weak sauce, but also I have to really still think about the Devil Dinosaur play because of the Shang-Chi possibility. But then like, this is such a confusing freaking turn, man. Like, what? The thing about New York, like I said, there's just so many things that could happen with it. Everybody knows that. So, there's, like, no way to calculate what kind of breakpoints I'm doing here. Like, anything is possible. Yeah. And then, of course, like, I have to think about the Shang-Chi still. So, do I even want to drop Dino? Is he gonna drop Shang-Chi? Like, isn't it obvious that I would not drop Dino here because of Shang-Chi? So I think since it's so obvious that I would not drop Dino, I drop the Dino anyway. And I move over the small guy so that I still have a lot of power even if I do get Shang-Chi'd. Okay, I moved over one more thing, I guess. But yeah, so my opponent, Coco, is a madman. And he just gives up on Baxter Building. And then he plays a big guy into the right. And he takes a 25, he takes a 75%er. And he hits it. And he wins. He completely jukes me out here. It's a good play. I mean, 75%, it's a risky play, of course, but his last thing did die to it. His last thing did die to Danger Room, so by the laws of gambler's fallacy, he is due to hit. He is due to not die there. Yeah, and he did not die. So he wins 2 cubes. Not a big, not a dramatic swing. Yeah. Coco did not snipe. Don't you worry. First of all, I said this yesterday. First of all, I trust Coco. If you ever watch his stream, he's a very nice guy. I don't think he would ever do something like that. Second of all, you can see, like, when we went over the game before, I played arrow into the middle, and if he was sniping, he would, like, there's just clear plays that he would not have done if he was sniping. Like, yeah. Especially with, like, the Professor X that he did earlier, when I played Maria on the left. Like, yeah. He's just not sniping. I don't know what to tell you. Good plays can look like sniping. And that's just what it is. He made some good plays. That's what it is. So you're just complimenting him. By calling him a sniper, you're actually just complimenting him and saying that he made good plays. So that means you have to follow his stream. That means you better follow Coco. I am down 2 cubes. That's how I started, like, all my matches, pretty much. I was down cubes at the beginning, and then I made some comebacks. Pretty banger hand here. Pretty nice stuff. I see the raft come up, and I have Quinjet down. So my opponent doesn't really have that many cheap things. I know he has, like, 2 drops, usually. He didn't play a 1 drop here. So this is where I snap, because I'm just going to go cable, and then hopefully get something cheap to play with the Quinjet and play some other, like, hopefully draw a 1 drop or something, get a Sentinel or something. Yeah, Raft comes up, and that's an easy snap for me, because my deck is just so good for that. I just, like, especially with the Quinjet up, yeah. I'm snapping you all day here. He's out of here. He has a slow start. Easy game. He does have Cosmo. He's not necessarily going to lose that, but we got to make him think that I have a pretty good hand for it, I guess. Make him think I have a Sentinel or something, you know? Get the free cube. Now I'm like, okay, I finally won something. I'm not out of this yet. New York comes up again, which I did get destroyed by that the first game, so not the greatest, but it's all good. It's all good. District X, we love to see it. RNG, life equals RNG. Beautiful. I do have a good thing here. I do have a pretty good hand, but I am just, like, worried about what cards I'm going to draw, so I don't snap yet because, I don't know, anything could happen. We still have 1 more location to go, so I think I'm just waiting to see what this next location is and what my next card is, and then we'll think about it more. Yeah. All right, draw more of these random cards. I mean, at this point, my opponent can have anything. My opponent can actually have, like, the Stone Cold Nuts from District X. Like, I know he's playing, like, he hasn't played that much yet, but I think I have a good thing going. I have Dinosaur. I have Nick Fury. Like, I have a pretty good hand, but District X is still a little scary. So that's why I'm just, like, hesitant to snapping immediately. But I believe I do come to the conclusion that My hand is like really good, so I should probably snap. I should probably snap here, and I think I do. Yeah, I snap. We get the insta retreat from Coco. I mean, he has really bad cards from District X, but like I said, he could have the nuts. So it's a little bit of a risky snap, but I feel like I'm in a decent position. All right, so I made back the cubes. We are even at 8-8 now. And I made back those cubes in like 4 turns, pretty much. Like I played like 2 turns in the first game and like 2 turns in the second game. And yeah. Nexus comes out. Pretty interesting. Not the greatest for my deck. It's okay for my deck. I do have Arrow to pull something off. Like it's not horrible. I do know my opponent has Shang-Chi though. And he does have some big cards, so it's not necessarily over yet. But then Cloning Vats comes out, and this is where it gets spicy because I just put down Collector in the middle, of course, and now I have a Cable for Cloning Vats. So Cloning Vats with Collector is just so good because I get, not only am I going to get the +1 from the Cable effect, but I'm going to get another Cable into my hand from the Vats, so he's going to get double buff here. Seems really good to me. And then, of course, I could go Cable again. And, yeah. And then, of course, the even better thing is that I can go double Arrow and pull his stuff off of there twice, assuming that there's no Cosmo on the right. And that's crazy. So I definitely snap here. And I believe he is out of here when I snap. Boom. And now I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm feeling myself. I just got 3 cubes in like 6 turns. Like, just like never getting to the end of these games. Like, I just keep snapping. He keeps leaving. Feeling good. Feeling really good. I feel like I'm on my A game right now. Now we're picking up the momentum. All right, round number 5. The stakes are doubled. Let's go. We are still definitely ahead, but my opponent has an odd number of cubes now. So he's at 7, I'm at 8. So I am still ahead by, I'm ahead by 1/2 essentially, I think, right? Because I would go to 6 and he would go to 5. 5, 3, 1. Actually, I think we're at the same, right? Isn't that like the same? I think 7 and 8 is actually theoretically the same. Unless some snaps come out. If we both go down by 2 each time, we can both lose 4 matches, pretty much. So it's almost the same. This is definitely a weird game here. So Hala comes down. I have a pretty good play here. I have the Maria to follow up Agent 13, so we can contest it. Obviously don't know what the next location is going to be. Comes out to be Bifrost, so now things get dicey because now this is where space gets really awkward. Because if I play something middle, if I play something anywhere, like the cards are going to move over to the right, and like I want to play a card next turn as well, so I'm going to fill up the right side. So at this point, I basically am like, I think I want to lose Hala because I just want space, really. And if I win Hala, like, yes, I'll destroy his stuff, but then I'll have no space. But maybe that's still good. I don't know. I go back and forth this turn quite a bit, and I decide to put Colston on the right, and I'm basically hoping that he plays something mid so that we actually lose mid. Kind of an awkward spot for me. He actually plays nothing here because he's worried about the space as well. Yeah, so now I have a decision to make between White Queen and Jessica. And then where do I put these cards? Do I even want to win Hala still? I don't know. It's such an awkward game. I have no clue what is really correct here, but I play Jessica on the right side because I'm not going to play on the right next turn, theoretically, because it's going to be full, maybe. So I just play Jessica on the right. It's just the most power over the 2 turns. And I'm just hoping that I lose mid. But he makes it so I don't lose mid. Well, I lose mid, but nothing dies. So now we are filled up on the right, and this is where it gets even more awkward. I am obviously winning on the right. I'm going to get +4 more, but we also have to be very careful of my opponent having Mr. Fantastic. So Mr. Fantastic will just win Sanctum Sanctorum. I don't have anything around that. And I cannot drag Fantastic to the right with Arrow, of course, because I have no space. So I'm not really feeling that great about my position here. Obviously don't want to play Magic and give him an extra turn. And I'm going to go up +4. I'm going to be at 17, which is actually kind of a big deal. But this is where Coco makes a good play here, and he snaps me to basically fake out that he has Mr. Fantastic. And I think I have to just retreat here because of Mr. Fantastic. The possibility of a Mr. Fantastic. And yeah, I mean, it's 2 cubes. Kind of sucks, but if I stay in for another 2 and I lose to Mr. Fantastic, it's going to feel horrible. So yeah. And I also don't even have that much time to think about a retreat because I already locked in my play, which is also what I really think that they need to change about this game. Is the fact that it doesn't undo your end turn button. So you're always incentivized to rope, and that's definitely a complaint by a lot of people. Because like I locked in my play, my opponent snaps me, and now I literally have I have like 5 seconds to freaking decide if I want to leave or not, or else it's gonna lock me in. So yeah, I was already thinking about Mr. Fantastic screwing me over. I didn't really have time to do any math, so I just get out of there just as fast as I can. Yeah. Move on to the next game. Very nice hand here. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if I'm really supposed to snap so aggressively here. It's just so it's so risky to snap into unrevealed locations, especially when you're playing into them. So that's why I just delay a little bit. And then X Mansion comes up, and now there's multiple things going through my head. Like, obviously, I have a really good hand, but can I really snap into X Mansion? I'm, like, pretty relieved I didn't snap into X Mansion now. But then also, I have this rule with you guys, with the stream, and you guys in chat, where I usually snap on X Mansion, like, all the time, because it's fun. So, I really wanted to snap on here for chat. But also, this is a very important match. I need to really do the right play. Like, I really want to snap for you guys. I do. But yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to doing it. So I ended up not snapping. I was boring. I'm sorry, guys. I was kind of lame here, and I did not snap. I always like to get Scorpion done as soon as possible, but I actually could have played other things as well. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Alright, now Superflow comes up, and it's interesting. The problem is, I cannot play into X Mansion again, because I'm going to get another card there, and it's going to fill it up, of course. So, unfortunately, I have to play into Superflow. I wanted to try to think of a way where I didn't have to, but since Morag is on the board as well, I need to just play into Superflow, and then play into Morag, I guess. And I have Quinjet down, which is basically Superflow on steroids, so yeah. It's alright. It's not the end of the world, you know? I get Shang-Chi from his deck, which is a big card to see. That makes me that makes my X Mansion, like, if he high rolls X Mansion, then I can just kill it. If I high roll X Mansion, he cannot kill it. So I'm feeling really good here with that Shang-Chi pull. And then this is where things get even crazier. Of course, I get the Rogue to steal Mr. Fantastic. It is insane. Feeling real good here. And then he gets Green Goblin to clog up my lane, which is crazy good. That's way better. I mean, my thing is still good. The Rogue is still good, but yeah, that was pretty brutal. For sure. That is he literally just wins the lane with that card. So, yeah. So now I'm not feeling as good, but I mean, I still have a good play here. I still have the reduction for my Quinjet. I could still play into Morag pretty easily. My opponent probably can't play into Morag easily. He snaps me here. And this is a big decision to make. Do you stay in or do you leave at this point? I still am making a good play. It's like pretty close. Yes, I obviously lost the middle lane, but I have a Shang-Chi. I feel like it's still winnable. I had to think about this for a while. It's a big decision. This is an extra 2 cubes here. It's gonna be a lot of cubes. Like this is half of our cubes if I stay in. So, yeah, it's a lot to think about. The thing is, I'm thinking about my future turns as well. So, I'm also thinking about like Arrow next turn into Super Flow so that we get rid of his energy, his extra energy. If he plays a Dino next turn, then I can always Shang-Chi it. Like, I'm kind of feeling good, not gonna lie. Even though X-Mansion just destroyed me, I think I'm still okay. So I make the decision to stay in the game. It hurts me. I run the clock down to like almost nothing to think about it. But I'm here. He plays middle because he doesn't want to get rid of Super Flow. He gets my arrow. He knows I can arrow him. And I believe I still go with the arrow on the right. Just because I want to get rid of that energy. And like I said, if he dinos, then I could Shang. And that's cool. I do have a random Super Scroll, that's true. I'm not even thinking about that card, though. Not gonna lie. I know a lot of people in chat were, like, talking about... they wanted me to play Super Scroll next turn. But I just don't think I needed to. They wanted me to see Super Scroll because I bought him. I do love Super Scroll, but... Yeah, so at this point... My opponent actually just passes here, which is fucking crazy, and I'm very confused, but yeah, it looks like he just passed so that he can get the extra energy, but I believe that pass just lost him the game, because I'm pretty sure he needs the extra power at the end. And if he had just, like... I mean, he knows I'm going to play Arrow, though. That's the thing. So, I guess his whole play is that he wants to... His whole play is that he wants to play a 2-drop and then play Dinosaur into the left. So he wants the extra energy so that he can play into Morag. Which... I get it. It makes sense, but... he ends up just needing more power, so I'm pretty sure it works out that if he just plays on the right twice, he just wins. Like, if he just played Arrow last turn on the right, and then the following turn just plays Dinosaur, then I'm pretty sure he just destroys me. Because the most I can do here is +6. Most I can do here is +6 on the right, which would be 20. And it would be Arrow plus Dinosaur, which I think would beat me. I'm pretty sure it would beat me. Yeah, that pass was crazy though. But it actually almost worked out for him. Because we go to the next turn here. Or no, did I do my math wrong? Hold up. No. He would have had the extra card. So he would have had 7. He would have been down to, what did I say? He would have had 5 cards in his hand. So Dino would have been 13. 13 plus 7. He actually would have tied me on the right. He would have tied me on the right. He was up by 8 there. We actually would have full tied, I'm pretty sure. But then I could super scroll. Yeah, that's true. Then I could play super scroll instead. If he did go into arrow before that. Oh yeah, Dino is 1 lower power, true. Yeah, so he actually would have lost by 1. And that's what ends up happening, is that he does end up losing just barely. And I didn't, like, literally, look, so here's what happens. I make this play, which, of course, I'm adding the most power I can to the left. And I calculate Dino. And I'm basically like, there's no way I could lose. There's no way I can lose. And then I see two cards come down here. And I'm very confused. Because I totally forgot that he has extra energy. And that he can play Sentinel. So then I'm like, holy shit, I think I just threw the whole entire match. Because I forgot about Sentinel. And then I won the tiebreaker just barely. And I am sweating my ass off. I literally forgot that he had the extra energy from Superflow. And he was going to be able to play the Sentinel as well. Yeah, so I definitely could have thought about that a little better. But yeah, I only tied, I actually, that was very, very close. I literally only tied that left side because the Scorpion reduced the Iceman and the Devil Dinosaur. And it just, barely worked out. Yeah. That was crazy. I didn't even really consider, to be honest with you, I did not even consider Super Scroll at all. I was just very focused on putting down the most power, regardless. And I didn't even think about Super Scroll. I was just so tunnel vision on my actual cards. It's always very scary when a dino comes down and then it has that brief second before the number actually applies to the location. It's always very scary. And especially in this situation, because I did not do the math that quickly. And yeah. Yeah, after that match, everybody was screaming. Everybody was screaming at the end of that. That was a pretty hype finale to that game there. But it's not over yet. Coco has 1 life. He's on 1 HP. It's a little hard to see. He has to win how many games here? How much do I have? 2, 4, 6, I think. So he has to win 3 in a row, which is possible. Yeah, so I have a pretty good hand. I can play out all my cards. It's not too bad. Just play out all my stuff. Play it as much as possible. Play it in the right order, of course. As White Queen takes my Iceman, pretty funny. Alright. Scorpion comes down, beautiful. And this is where it gets crazy. Triskelion comes down. My collector goes to 7 right off the bat. Yeah. I mean, at that point, it's basically okay, the game just wants me to win. It's looking like it's over. I just have to make sure that I play around whatever. So it looks like it's over already on turn 2. But just have to do my due diligence, just make sure I don't make any mistakes. And this is where, yeah, I do get 0 Red Skull off of this. My opponent has horrible cards from it. They're not the worst. It does have, okay, Enchantress is actually decent for my dino if I play it, but yeah, this is where I mean, 0 Red Skull, that's insane, but still not over yet. I don't want to play 0 now, of course. Need to wait on it. Nobody could snap right now. My opponent's at 1 cube here. He is all in. Yeah, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, but you can't let your emotions get the best of you, all right? You got to focus up. It's not over yet. Anything could happen. My collector is at 7, so I do have to be careful because I don't want to get it to 9, or else it's Shang-Chi-able. So that is a big thing. A lot of people were questioning why I didn't just keep getting it buffed to 9 plus, but I was just trying to play around his Shang as much as possible here. I just didn't want to find a way to lose this somehow because I have such a big advantage. I just want to keep that advantage. So right here, this is where you have a decision to make between, are you going to buff your collector up to 9 to make it Shang-Chi-able, or do we just play Swordmaster and hope that we don't get rid of Red Skull or Zero because that's such a powerful combo. And then there is also the argument, of course, are you just okay with Shang-Chi coming down on the left? Maybe. I feel like I still want to keep that advantage, so I don't really want him to Shang-Chi it. Yeah, so I take the risk here just because I want to go with the game plan of not getting the collector to 9. So we go with the Swordmaster. And I mean, the odds are in my favor that we don't discard one of them. So, yeah. We go for it. And I, of course, discard my 0, which is sad. But, I mean, I got really lucky with this Triskelion in the first place, so it's alright. But now, this is where it gets awkward again, because if I play the Sentinel still, then I'm going to buff my collector up, and I don't want that. Also, if I play Cerebro, I buff it up as well. So it's, I mean, what would you guys do here? I mean, I just go for the Iceman. And I still, like, it's such, I'm floating 3 energy, but I'm still on that game plan of not putting the collector up there. I think I just want to go with it. Yeah. So even though I do float 3 energy, I still think it's correct to protect my collector. And this is where I get punished for doing this. I kind of get punished a little bit. My opponent does pull out the Shang-Chi, so now I know that I'm good. Now I know that I could get it above there. And now I'm like kind of sad that I wasn't buffing it up, but I do get kind of punished because he plays Professor X, or he gets the Professor X pull. So if I did play like a Sentinel on the right, I would be winning. But then Mr. Fantastic could beat me anyway at last second, so it's kind of fine still. I'm pretty happy with this still. All right. So right lane is lost. Still winning the other 2 lanes. Shang-Chi is out. Feeling good about that. But I feel like I'm losing this game currently. I mean, the biggest thing I could play right now is Red Skull. I'm doing the math on Red Skull to see like how much he actually is compared to like Black Panther. And I mean, my opponent has 1 card mid. He shouldn't be able to play that many cards generally with this deck every turn. So I feel like the worst that could happen is he plays 1 card here in the middle. And then my Red Skull is still pretty big, so I just go Red Skull mid, and I guess my plan is really to just play Red Skull into Arrow. Like Red Skull mid, Arrow mid, and just hope that that's enough. Like, it's actually, like, pretty close. I don't think I'm in the greatest position, but I'm okay. Yeah, so just play Big Boy, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I kind of think I lost, but we'll go for it. My opponent sees my play. It doesn't mean make a difference. Thankfully, my opponent has a pretty bad hand here, so doesn't really have a lot of options. I believe he opts for the Mr. Fantastic just to spread out the power a little bit, which is kind of understandable. But like that play was so weak. Like if he has anything better, I'm probably going to lose, I think. But that play was actually just so weak that now my Arrow actually feels pretty safe. Feels like it should win me the game. And we do the math. I do the math. And even if he plays Magneto, like I drag Magneto into the middle, and I win the tiebreaker still. So Unless he has some random thing that kills me, this should beat like everything. Yeah, unless he plays like 2 big cards somehow, like 2 big-ish cards. I'm pretty sure I'm good to go. So I just go mid, pull it into the mid lane. Even though the Red Skull obviously will buff his card, like I still need to tie the left side so we can win the tiebreaker, you know. And I'm pretty sure I did the math on Agent Coulson plus Maria, and it was just not enough for the left side to beat Magneto. Like, I just have to think about Magneto. That's his biggest card and everything. So, yeah. That's what I do. I go arrow mid. We pull the 2 things over. 2 things is kind of scary for me. But then I see Enchantress, and it's over. Yeah. I'm just kind of in shock that Enchantress was the card that came over. And it turned off my Red Skull. Turns off is fantastic. It is fantastic. And that's GG. Let's go. Whew. That was kind of a crazy series, not gonna lie. And this is where everybody comes over to me and starts like jumping on me, hugging me. It's very exciting. And yeah, that was like a very surreal moment. I loved it. No, I did not win the tourney at this point. That was me getting to the finals. That was me winning the like everybody, I'm sure everybody loves Coco, but everybody wanted it to be like an in-person finals. So I think it was like extra hype that you were going to get to see like both players play against each other in the finals at the desk, you know. This is the finals. After we review this match, guys, real quick. I mean, it's going to be a quick one because I'm going to get stomped. I mean, anything could happen. But yeah, this is the matchup. We got Harry with the Thanos Lockjaw deck. That's the ongoing version. It's got Kazar, Blue Marvel, Mr. Fantastic, Spectrum kind of thing. Very powerful deck. I didn't expect it to be. I don't think a lot of people expected this to be as powerful as it was. But this deck feels like it beats everything. When I play against Harry, when I was playing against Harry when he was playing this deck, I literally felt like I lost. Like, you feel like you lose like on turn 1 pretty much. Like when he plays Mind Stone on turn 1, I already think it's over at this point. Like you just get so much out of these stones. It's very hard to keep up with. And yeah. I mean, the reason why this is the only match that I switched decks, and there's 2 reasons like I explained earlier. But I'll explain it again for the video because I am going to make this into a video, I think. The reasons why I switched decks for Harry for this last match is not because I'm throwing. It's not because I want to just get some more, like, I just want to, like, meme, you know, with a different deck. I honestly feel like this deck has a better chance against his deck. First off, I mean, I played my other deck against him earlier in the winners finals, and I got destroyed 9-0. And then second off, like, I think that this deck is actually solid against it because Professor X, pretty much. That's, like, the main thing. Professor X to lock down a lane, to give him just less space to play on is pretty cool. It just ended up being too slow, though, because he's already going to have a million things on these other lanes by the time I actually get down Professor X. I mean, my ongoing effects are pretty good against the Valkyrie as well. Like Warpath is good against it, but yeah, didn't do as well as I thought. But also Cosmo is pretty cool too. So I did think it was better overall. If I did bring the other deck, I would probably have to win just through RNG. I do have Dino for that, but like Dino can help lock down one lane, but I'm gonna struggle to get another lane, especially since Arrow is not gonna work against this deck because he's filling up the entire board. So, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Harry's deck literally, like, doesn't lose to anything. I just want to let you know. Like, maybe it loses to one. What did I play against yesterday that was kind of destroying me? I think it was, like, Sauron that was doing pretty well against it, but still probably doesn't consistently beat it. I don't know. It's a really solid deck. So, yeah. Harry did tell me that my deck wouldn't work, but I came into the tournament thinking that this was the better matchup for me, so I wanted to give it a try, especially since I got stomped earlier, you know. All right, so he's got a really good start. Harry's got a really good start here. Mind Stone, of course. He did snap me with the Mind Stone, so he locked me in at the beginning. It was a very good move, and I mean, at this point, I'm just playing it out right now. Obviously, going to play on the left location to try to get some energy, or try to get some power there. Does turn out the negative zone comes down. Would have wanted my Colossus over there, but Mr. Fantastic is still very good for that negative zone. So I do go with that, of course. That's my only play. I'm just thinking about if I want to put him on the left just because the +5 power, but it's way too much in the middle, like especially with that negative zone. So we go like that. He plays Lockjaw into negative zone, which is actually like pretty good for me, I guess, because it's gonna be hard for him to get that much power over there. But we're still playing it out. I'm still in Warpath. The really bad thing about my deck against his deck is that he has no cards that, besides Thanos when it's powered up, which doesn't happen that often, but now it would happen, where it dies to Shang-Chi. Like before this recent change of Thanos going to 11 power, Shang-Chi just doesn't kill it. So I literally have no Shang-Chi targets unless it's a powered up Thanos, but he knows that I have Shang-Chi. So, and he also does have armor. So Shang-Chi is pretty useless in this matchup. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, so you're looking for Reality Stone on the right? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's already getting awkward for me. Like, Warpath left is what I go with here. Trying to combat the left side. He doesn't have that much power over there. Maybe I can win it. I don't know. I feel like I already lost since turn 1, but try my best here. You know, Warpath left. We'll see what happens. All right. Plays Time Stone. He gets Leech, which actually helps out my Destroyer, of course, which is kind of cool. But I also wanted the option of going Professor X on the left, I thought. So kind of sad. But yeah, so now my Destroyer is turned off, which is cool, but now I'm still in like such an awkward position because yeah, he's just playing a million cards. I've played 3 cards so far. I can only play 1 card per turn. My last turn play is not looking that strong. I don't know how I'm supposed to win this, but the play that I make is not the right play. I play a Destroyer on the right to like essentially just lock down negative zone, but I literally already have it locked down. So this was an awful play by me. I don't even know why I did this. I was just so confused at what to do here. Like I turn off my Warpath to this play. Like I don't know about this one, man. I was just very confused at how I was gonna win this. I think I definitely should have played in mid. Like after Harry, I mean, of course he like low rolls me with the lockjaw, so it could have been different, but like, after it's said and done, he literally has 1 power on that right side. So I would be winning if I just had the Mr. Fantastic over there. Which probably would not get me there at the end of the game. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about this Destroyer play. And now we get into the situation where I'm trying to do math, trying to see if there's any possible way I could win this left side. Like, obviously I win the right side. But, yeah. I'm calculating the Sunspot on the left plus the Ant-Man and then floating 4 energy. And after doing the math, after considering the Soul Stone in there as well, after considering that Spectrum is probably coming down, I do lose that. So just barely, actually. It's kind of close, but I do lose it just barely. And I have to just retreat here. Yeah. That is what happens. I just retreat. It's very close, though. It's very, very close. He would have, just to do the math quickly here, I would get +10 from the thing. Then I go +3. I go +13. Then +4. I go +17 here. So I'm at 26. And then the spectrum would give him +6. So he would be at, or I would be at 36. He would be at 37. Like, it's literally, like, it's very, very close, actually. Yeah, if my Warpath was actually active, like, if I had actually played the Mr. Fantastic on the left, maybe I win. I'm pretty sure I actually win that, by the way. But it's so hard to think about that. Like, it's so hard to actually do that play earlier on. Like, there's actually, like, no way I'm making that play, I think. But, yeah. It was way closer than it seemed, maybe. I don't know. It was very close. All right, so I'm down 2. Elysium comes up, which is pretty good for him. I'm pretty sure Elysium is just better for his deck. He can just play everything. Literally everything. I mean, it could help me out a little bit. Oh, this game was horrible for me. Jesus. This is a heartbreaking game. But yeah, so basically right here, I'm like very deep in thought because my opponent played nothing on turn 1. And there's Elysium. And he's playing Thanos. So this is where I go look at my notepad and I look at every card in his deck. And I'm trying to think about what the hell his hand could be at this point. That he would play nothing. And I kind of came to the conclusion that he probably has Mr. Fantastic. So I just dropped my Fantastic. There's no point to playing Cosmo because I think he's just going to drop Fantastic here. So I just dropped my Fantastic mid as well. And just get that priority for my Cosmo, pretty much. That's the whole idea. And then you have to do the Spider-Man point, of course. Come on. Yeah, that's true, Harry. Maybe. Yeah, Valk probably wins it. Alright, so right here, he snaps me. He snapped me? Yeah. Or I snapped. I snapped him. Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I snapped him because I have priority. And I think he's going to play a lot of cards because we just drew cards. And I have Cosmo. So as long, this is only good as long as I mean, I have a pretty decent hand as well. Like I have Destroyer with the Cosmo, I have Claw. Like I have a good hand and I have a very good chance that Cosmo is going to do something good pretty much because he is probably going to spread out his cards. So I'll probably hit something, you know? I guess I go with mid because I mean, any lane should probably be okay, but I'm assuming that you're going to be playing cards on the middle because it's going to lock down eventually. I don't know. It could go either way. But that was my reasoning, I think, is that you're more likely to, like, you should be playing cards on the vault eventually. Even if it's not this turn, like, you're going to have to play on there eventually if you want to do something, you know, with the vault. I don't know. Yeah. But I kind of figured that I'll be okay anywhere I play this Cosmo, I guess. Also trying to think about if I want to play Destroyer on the mid lane or something with the Cosmo. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no way I can know for sure where you're going to play this stuff. It's just a gamba, but I did get a little lucky to guess correctly here. And I end up playing the Colossus as well, which I think is the reason that I lose this game. Because I don't leave myself a lot of space here, which is kind of ends up being a problem. So I think I should have played Colossus on the left or the right, but I play it mid. I still have like a decent amount of power here. I still have the Claw to add power, so I feel like I'll be fine. Pulls M'Baku out. I deny the Yellowstone, which is really nutty. And now I'm just going to spend all my energy. And this is where I kind of play myself a little bit. Because I'm pretty much thinking about... Leech coming down here. Since Elysium is out and it's turn 4, Leech could totally come out and screw over my Ant-Man. So I play the Claw on the left, and then I play Ant-Man mid just because of the fact that I could get leeched, and I don't want Ant-Man to turn off. So I feel like this is going to be enough power mid. Like, I'm adding so much power mid. There's no way I can lose. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. We go for this. Even though it gets rid of the possibility of Destroyer, I'm also thinking, like, if he does leech me, then Destroyer will be free anyway to play. So, yeah. That's my thought process here, is that I'm putting so much power mid. And we have the Cosmo mid. Like, I'm looking pretty good. I'm feeling great here, actually. Feeling really, really great. And this is where all my hopes and dreams get destroyed. Harry does know that I have Professor X in my deck, so he has to play around it a little bit. Goes for the Mind Stone play. Honestly, or not the Space Stone play. And honestly, when I see the Space Stone come down, I've literally already, like, given up, like, thinking about the middle location. I basically said to myself, like, there's no way I can lose mid. So I'm not even thinking about the Space Stone moving into mid at all. Like, I'm just calculating the left side. I'm just thinking about how I want to win a different lane, pretty much. And I come to the conclusion that Sunspot plus Warpath seems like the best way to do that. Adds just the most power. So then I start thinking about, why would I even play Warpath right now? Why would I give him the information? So I just drop Sunspot, and that's it. I also want to see what my next draw is going to be. Maybe I play something on the right. Probably not, though. Yeah, so this is where things get a little dicey. I'm just trying to add as much power as I can to this left lane. And like I said, I was just really sure that I just win the middle lane and that I just win in general. Like, I have a pretty smug look on my face right now. I'm feeling good. And I'm double checking things. I'm like, yeah, I think we're all good to go. And that is not the case. Armor moves to the mid. He gets to 14. Spectrum buffs it up to the perfect number, 18. And I lose. We tie in the mid. I get a lot of power on the left, but it is not enough. Yeah, I lose by 7 points there. Very, very sad. I am very, yeah. I did not see that coming at all. It was a very good play, for sure. So now I'm at 4 cubes against 10. I want to at least win something here. Like, I'm not trying to get scraped. I want to put on a show for chat, you know? I want to make it kind of close. All right. Round 3. He snaps me on turn 1. I mean, I have a kind of decent hand. I don't want to just give him these, I don't want to just let him, like, chip bully me, essentially, so I'll stay in it, sure. Let's see what you have. Do you have Mind Stone again? Do you have Greenstone into Lockjaw? If you have the absolute nuts, sure, but I'm gonna make you have it, you know? I do really like I actually do like Jotunheim on the first location, because my opponent wants to go, like, pretty wide, and this kind of stops him from going wide, generally. Yeah, Harry is definitely doing the right play by aggressively snapping, especially when he has the lead. It's exactly what you'd do in, like, a poker situation, you know? Gotta be a chip bully. Pays out dividends, usually. Harry does have the opportunity to go Time Stone into Lockjaw, Mind Stone. Don't know if it's better, but just plays out his stones, just draws a lot of cards. Also a good play. All right, I play Armor out, and I get priority in a 50-50, and this 50-50 pretty much wins me the game, or it's part of what wins me the game here. I had to get lucky to win, pretty much. So, I mean, here it's very obvious that my opponent should play on the right. And this could be where Harry makes a mistake. Because you could take a look at the priority. Yeah, you could take a look at the priority, and you can make the assumption that I'm going to make the assumption that you're going to play on the right side because you're never playing in New York generally, and you're obviously not playing on the left. So if Harry was playing around my Cosmo here, he would definitely go mid. Probably not going into Jotunheim. But he does go on the right, which, I mean, this isn't the most five-head play for me. It's just like a standard play that he's going to play on the right, probably. So I go into Cosmo on the right, and I hit his leech, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. That does help out a lot. It does. But it's still not over yet. Right here, Warpath on the right is just want to spend all my energy. You know, I can always move stuff into New York. He can't lock me down. Seems good to me. Harry goes for the Lockjaw Reality Stone play on the left side. And this is where... and this is where D-Money gets even more lucky. Because he gets, like, the absolute worst location. Pulls out an actual good card. And, yeah. At that point, it's like... there's no way Harry should be able to win this game. But he somehow does still have a chance because that deck is so freaking strong. Or my deck just sucks so much. I don't know. He still has a goddamn chance after all this bad RNG. And all these horrible, unfortunate events. He actually still has a shot here. Somehow. Yeah, so I just go Claw on the left. Why not? Because I can always move to New York. The more things that you can have move to New York, the better. Because then it just adds in more and more variables. So I just put the Claw on the left. Use up all my energy. And then we could play around with the points later, you know. I mean, that was just purely unlucky, Harry. I mean, you definitely... if Clintar didn't happen, I mean, it should just be... it probably is going to be just GG, but couple unfortunate things there. Sometimes lucky for me. All right, I play the Claw, blah, blah, blah. And now it is interesting. It is very interesting. A lot of moving parts here. I'm pretty sure I was able to lose this still with the play that I made. But basically the idea is give up on left side because my hand is horrible for playing on the left. I don't have anything big really. Like if I have Destroyer, maybe I can consider playing it on the left and just like having everything protected by the armor or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I end up trying to split my power between mid and right side. So it's so hard to do these breakpoints, bro. I have no idea really what I'm doing. I have an idea, but like nothing is really like finite kind of thing, you know. So I think I end up moving Warpath to the middle. I move Claw to the middle, of course, because Claw then it's gonna buff mid and right side. I just try to distribute the power in the best way possible. Play out all my cards pretty much. There is a decision that I have to make about, do I want to play Daredevil mid as well into Soulstone for 1 power, or do I want to float 2 energy for Sunspot on the right? It's interesting. I end up playing Daredevil out, and yeah, I do end up winning this game for sure. Harry plays Valk on the left, which I think is it will definitely beat Destroyer if I go on the left, but yeah, very surprising play for that to come down there. Didn't really help him at all. Yeah. So, I mean, I just got really lucky. I just got really, really lucky this game. Let's be real. So, I finally won cubes. Won 4 cubes off of him. Let's go. It's still winnable. It is still winnable. All right. this game right here. Classic opener with the sunspot. Opponent doesn't play a stone. So I should have snapped here. The second I saw my opponent not play a stone, I think I should have snapped here. I should have thought about. There's two reasons. First of all, obviously he has a slower hand, which is good for me. And then second of all, you really need to, like I was talking about earlier, you really have to pay attention to the different rounds, because once it gets into round 5, that's when it doubles. So being at 3 life and being at 4 life is the same thing essentially. So and Harry being at like an odd, it's all about like the odd and even kind of number with going to the double stakes kind of thing. So Harry is at 2, 4. It's kind of hard to see the life sometimes. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, Harry's at 6 right now. So if Harry retreats for 1, then he's at 5. Which once it gets to double stakes, that's the same as 6, because it's gonna be 3 rounds either way. The snaps make it a little different, but if he's at 6 cubes, then that's 3 instances of 2, 3 instances of the maxed cubes kind of thing, or the doubled stuff. So being at 5, being at 6, it's the same once it gets to double stakes, essentially. There's some niche situations, but yeah. Like, I would have to be at an odd number as well, I'm pretty sure, for that to actually make a difference. And like I would have to snap and get to the final thing. You know, it's a little, there's some thing to it, but in this situation, yeah. So what happens is we just play out this turn. Throne Room comes out, and Throne Room is so much better for me than him. So I just snap, and he just leaves. And Harry realizes that he gets a free retreat. He can just give up the 1 cube. It doesn't mean anything because next round is going to double. So very good retreat from Harry there. Horrible snap from me. Looking back at it, I definitely should have snapped with that sunspot. I mean, he might have retreated there for free anyway, but I definitely should have snapped earlier because of that. And then you could say, like, should I even snap when Throne Room comes out if he's getting a free retreat? I think I still should. Just because like maybe he stays in and I can get the extra cube, and there could be shenanigans that happen. I don't know. I don't want to let him stay in, but also he's not really losing anything by leaving, so I actually like have to snap early for sure. All right, round number 5. Let's go. This is a great round right here for somebody. It's a great round for somebody here. I won't let you know who. You'll have to find out. You'll have to keep watching the video to find out. All right. Classic opener, Sunspot, Soulstone. I'm at 4 cubes. Harry's at 5 cubes. It's actually very close. All right. Elysium probably helps me, or Olympia probably helps me more than him. He could draw cards pretty easily. I can't really draw that many cards that easily, but I also can't play that many cards too easily. So it's good and it's not too great, but yep, just gonna play my Daredevil out here. Obviously don't want to play into Soulstone. We get Elysium, which is better for Harry generally, but it's also kind of good for me since I have the extra cards. It's not that bad. But like I said earlier, Elysium came out like a million times in this tournament. I don't know why. So this is the same situation as earlier, where we have the same amount of power, and I high rolled the 50-50 to have priority. And there's Elysium, so I know my opponent's gonna play a bunch of different cards, and if I could get off a big Cosmo, that would be awesome. So I go for the Cosmo mid here, and I mean, you'll see what happens. I definitely destroy him. I play the Cosmo into the lockjaw lane again, and we can look at it from my perspective to see why I play it mid. I could try to think about it. I mean, I obviously am not going to know my exact thought process at this point, and it's also like a gamba, but I mean, the expected play is that he's going to play lockjaw on the right. But would Harry do the expected play? I mean, this is where mind games come into it. There's always going to be this element of this is the correct play, but it's so obvious that I shouldn't do it. You know? So, I don't think he's going to play it on the right because it's so obvious. So I play mid and just hope for the best. I mean, he has Soulstone on the left, so I think he's already feeling like pretty confident in that left side. So that's how I kind of deduce it to mid lane. But I mean, like I said, it comes down to a bunch of different elements at the end of the day, and I could be totally wrong. Like I could just play it mid and then look like a complete idiot, and he plays it on the right side, and yeah. So, I mean, that's the reasoning behind why I play it mid here. I believe that's what I was thinking. So, yeah. Yeah, sometimes going with the obvious play is just the best way to do it. Because there's a lot of times in this game, especially where you just play yourself pretty much, you know? So, I do guess correctly with my Cosmo. Put it in the lane with the lockjaw. He doesn't play a card that has a reveal, but he ends up getting Leech again into my Cosmo. And Harry doesn't even look at me that time. He is just like pissed. He's just like locked in. I mean, this is for 4 cubes right here. So like I looked at him after that and I was like, yo, jeez. And he's just like, nah, hold up. I'm not giving up just yet. You lucky bastard. It's not over yet. So this is the major turn in the match right here. This is such a hard turn, but basically, I mean, at this point, so there's quite a few elements to this. I have Professor X. Professor X costs 4. Harry knows I have Professor X. But also, I have Daredevil on the board. So, theoretically, my opponent doesn't think I'm going to play Professor X here. Because I have Daredevil. But if I was to play Professor X, it would go on the left side because I have Sunspot. So, knowing all of this, I go with a completely different kind of play, I think. And I try to catch him off guard. I try to find some kind of way to win. Unfortunately, I can't play another card with Professor X to like buff up my Ant-Man over there. So basically, I would think that my opponent is never going to think that I'm putting down Professor X. And I think that's like on the right side this turn. And I think that is a very fair assumption. But even knowing that, I still barely even think it's correct because Harry can just drop Harry's cards cost nothing. And Harry can just drop a card there and be able to buff it up probably like multiple times. So it's still iffy. I still think I like it. But yeah, I mean, that was the reasoning there. I feel like I need to take a risk at this point. I'm like very far behind. He has 6 cards down. I have 5 cards down, but yeah, I just think there's a lot of ways that I just think I'm still very far behind. Like buffs are just gonna put him way far ahead of me. So I go for a risk here, but I think it's a calculated risk. And also, I can totally draw. Like I have Mr. Fantastic in my hand, and I could totally draw a Claw. So I think it's actually a pretty good play by me. And Harry does start off by putting Blue Marvel on the left. and that would have made this a lot better. But Harry is stream sniping me, and he puts the blue marble on the right last second. He makes sure to play blue marble before reality stone, which I do love. That is, I would definitely do that first because reality stone could do some crazy shit that's bad. So yeah, good play by Harry, distributing his power around Professor X on every single lane. And yeah, I'm totally kidding Harry. And he plays I play the Professor X on the right. I'm losing that side, feeling like shit. Pretty much at this point, it's basically over. I mean, if I had actually drawn Claw here, then I could contest that right lane a lot more. And I still think I actually lose based on what actually happens with the buffs. Like, he's going to play Kazar into Spectrum, which is just way too much. I'm pretty sure I actually still lose even if I Claw. But yeah, I don't have Claw. I have, at this point, it's basically Mr. Fantastic has to come down mid, and Harry has to have no buffs at all, which is super unlikely. But I have to go for it. Yeah, that's all I have, really. So, not feeling great. I already know I lost at this point, but yeah. You never know. There's a very, very small chance. I mean, we could do the math on Claw later. I'm pretty sure I did the math and I don't win with it even. It's just too much power. Like, I would kind of have to have Fantastic and Claw down, but then I would just lose mid at that point, you know? Yeah, so I see what's coming. I'm shaking my head, trying to find some kind of way out. The way that I come up with is Mr. Fantastic and Prage. Second he plays Kazar, I know it's over. Then Mr. Fantastic comes out, and then it's Omega over. Yeah. And last turn here, obviously nothing I can do, but I will drag it out to try to find some... Wait, maybe Harry disconnects, and we have to start over, you know? No, that's obviously not what I'm going for. I'm just like trying to, you know what? It's the last round. It's the last game. I'll just make it look like I'm thinking about something, but there's nothing. I'm just thinking about, like, yeah, it was a good run, you know? And then I'm also thinking about, like, how do I want to end it? Do I want to play Destroyer to kill off all my stuff or what? But no, I just go Destroyer mid and it's over. Even if I did have Claw on the right, I still lose. That's how much power he can play. He can distribute onto these 3 cards over here. That's crazy. Yeah. Even with Fantastic plus Claw. I mean, he can also just not roll the Fantastic off the lockjaw. But, yeah. I lost that. If I did win that game, it would have been 4-1. Which still, it would not be over. He could still win just 2 in a row and beat me. But, yeah, it was kind of close. Almost had. It was just the Professor X, but I don't even think I had a great play. I honestly don't even think that... yeah, I honestly don't even think that I had that much of a better play besides Professor X that turn. So I feel like I had to go for it and take a risk. And yeah, that was the series. And Harry, Ordinary Harry, is your world champion of Marvel Snap. Or at least just the winner of the tournament. But basically the same thing. Yeah. And that's it.